welcome to another episode of the Always Be Testing podcast. I'm your host, DeGrange. I'm really excited to talk to Lawrence Sarpong today. Lawrence, how you doing?
I am doing well. It's good to connect with you, my friend.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's we've known each other for a long time, and it's always a good chat. So it's gonna be a fun one.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ty, actually, now that I think about it, I think I met you at my first CJU when I first got into affiliate back in 2009. Not to date myself, but it's been a while. So, yeah, it's good to connect, definitely.
Absolutely. You've seen a lot of good stuff. We've seen a lot of good stuff, and so plenty of knowledge to share today. Lawrence is a champion of affiliate marketing. He's been around the game for a long time, and certainly have had some great experiences in fintech with Truist now, with SoFi, with Lending Tree. So, talk about a great perspective from that vertical.
Yeah, I'll try to give my unadulterated professional opinions on the topics at hand.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right.
So, when you think about fintech, when you think about banking, obviously it's a little bit of a different animal
Yeah.
uh, in terms of operating affiliate marketing. What are some of the ways at which you think about that vertical differently than maybe more other areas of affiliate marketing?
Yeah, so I think just at the bare bones of it, you have to look at fintech marketing, its customers interested in financial technology products like mobile banking, robo advisors, crypto exchanges. Whereas affiliate marketing at large, it can encompass literally anything from clothing to electronics to travel services, you name it. And when I talk to people, I say that affiliate marketing is literally just everything in general. You can affiliate market anything. But to answer your question again, fintech and banking is very specific. They're very specific people with very specific needs, and 9 times out of 10, they're doing the research ahead of time just for best rates, best APRs, and things of that nature. So I think that's the main difference. It's that it's an intangible tool that we all definitely need, whether it's education or a specific product.
Yeah, for sure. And I would imagine that you're talking about not always, but oftentimes maybe skews a little more on the education side of things. If you're, especially if you're talking about a decision like a bank or something financial, is that what you often see?
I would say yes. A lot of times, yes, definitely. The education is there, and people are looking to understand more. But then again, sometimes you may be on, let's just say a membership reward site or something like that, and you may see something like, oh, if I change my bank account, I can get $400 if I do, X amount of deposits in 30 days. No problem. I'll go ahead and do that, get the 400 and go back to my main bank. But what I
Hmm.
have noticed is that with respect to that, in most cases, some people, I mean, changing banks, there's a lot of work involved, right? And I think that most people, like myself, actually, because I've been in the industry for a while, they'll have two, three, four bank accounts and they'll use them for different purposes. I may use a SoFi savings account because I know they've got one of the best APYs, or I may use another bank account because I know they've got ATMs all over the place, like your Chase or your Citibanks or whatever. And it could just be regional as well. So, I'm from Chicago, but I've lived in New York, I've lived in Arkansas, I lived a couple of different places. I still have my main Citibank account from, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. But then when I worked for SoFi, I definitely opened up a SoFi account because I learned more about the APYs and how all their tools come together. And now I also have a Truist account because, well, I work for Truist, but there are also additional benefits as well, such as, being an employee of Truist, I get certain discounts on things like if I want to refinance my mortgage or take out a loan or anything like that. So there are a lot of different reasons why people play around within the banking space. I don't want to really say they game it, but just to have access to other
Yeah,
options.
yeah. No, I totally follow a somewhat similar pattern where like you want that great APY. You might use
Yeah,
something for your brokerage, different from your banking, different from your
yeah,
business, different from your savings. So it's rare that it's
absolutely.
all wrapped up into one. Um, when you think about, what maybe stepping back and think you've seen a lot and a lot of different types of brands, even beyond fintech. What are some of the best practices? What are some of the things that brands do that you think others do not that kind of separate them?
I would say that, brands, the best brands, I'll say, what they'll do is they'll solve a problem, right? In most cases, it might be a problem that you don't even know that you have. You've got, and again, I'm going to talk specifically to banking. You could have a
Mhm,
bank account and it's absolutely doing nothing for you on the saving side. You might as well just be putting your money under a mattress for, just for that instance. So yeah, that's one thing. As far as different strategies, specifically with fintech marketing, I think that the key thing that they do and they do well is educate the consumers about new financial products and technologies. They highlight the benefits of these, and like I said, address potential concerns as it comes to.
mhm.
I don't know. I think we've all I don't know. I think everyone's social security and personal information is out there on the dark web somewhere. So the companies that do their best to show, not just tell, but to show them that their information is secure and still private, I think those are the ones that really capture the key audience attention, if you will.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And when you're kind of thinking about, obviously, mature program you're running, you've had a lot of successes with programs that you've, inherited or built from scratch or maybe come across for the first time.
Yeah.
When you kind of first come across a program, is there anything maybe setup related, in particular on the technical side or the tracking side, or just the foundational setup that you want to kind of counsel people to be aware of or to think about, just to make sure that program is set up for success as much as possible?
Yeah, especially when I worked when I was on the agency side working for Havas Media, which was my first agency role. One of my job, well, actually my main job there was to stand up affiliate programs for new potential bank clients. I mean, bank clients, I'm sorry, agency clients. So what I
Hmm.
would do is just pretty much do like a punch list of the positives and negatives of each individual network. For instance, I'd lay it out and I'd have Impact, CJ, Rakuten, share a sale, and I'd say, okay, if you want an account management team behind you, this one, and this one, these are great for that. If you want great tracking and tools with compliance built in, well, you might want to go the Impact route because they just blow it out of the water. But I think to answer your question, um, I would do essentially an affiliate marketing 101 and just let them know all the different things to look for as far as tracking and compliance tools and things of that nature and how to utilize like sublinks, especially in, in the fintech world where you have privacy concerns and you don't want to port over people's informations and things like that. The
Yep.
alphabet boys are always watching SEC, the
Yep.
rest of them, and you have to
Hmm.
adhere to GDPR restrictions. So again, it would just be a tops down, and just letting the company or the client that I work with know the things that they don't know and don't know to ask. You know what I mean? So I think education is at the very top level of it because. And I'll take it back a little bit, not to go on a tangent, but when I first got into the industry, um, affiliate marketing was like, and I don't mean to offend any redheads out there, but it was the redheaded stepchild in the back of the room. We barely got
Yep.
2 or 3 minutes to talk about what our channel was specifically doing in
Yep.
comparison to search or display or anything else. But as I've evolved within the industry and as time has gone on, I think I really knew that affiliate marketing hit the mainstream again when I got into an agency role and they were looking specifically for affiliate marketing and to bring it to their customers. Yeah, so it's been a wild ride, man.
Yeah, I think we've both seen just so much evolution, change, maturity in the quote unquote, channel and what affiliate marketing is and has become. And I love that education piece, like you breaking it down for clients in a way that's, hey, objective,
Yeah,
you're giving them the good, the bad, and the ugly, allowing them to make a good decision is just a philosophy we often take. And I think it's
yeah,
exciting that um, it's also a good call out of like how much has changed since
yeah.
the early days where it was almost an afterthought.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Is there one thing, speaking of that, is there like a pitfall that you caution folks on, or is there some things that you try to avoid that maybe that others are not avoiding in the world of affiliate marketing or partner marketing, or the areas to just be mindful of?
Yeah, dude, I would say the biggest pitfall is not knowing who your partner is, not really doing the research behind them. Affiliate marketing, it's a symbiotic relationship. There's something in it for both parties. And not knowing who your partner is, not knowing what their goals are, how they go to market, what's their audience size, what type of traffic do they drive, and on top of that, does their audience interact? I know some people that are new to the industry, and essentially they're just looking for clicks and conversions. But what you want to build, I think, is lifetime value for these customers, because essentially at the end of the day, you want them to be your extended arm of your marketing service, right? And I'm not talking about the merchant or publisher side. I'm talking about the consumers that come in. You want them to have a great experience. You want them to tell people about your product and service, and really, like I said, be the evangelist for you. So that's one thing. You also have to know, I think it's very, when you first start working with a partner and then continuously, I think you have to constantly speak to them about your KPIs, because sometimes they could be moving targets, right? You could have a certain set of KPIs one quarter, but then, as the macro environments change and leadership changes, and just the environment of the world changes, those KPIs could change as well. So you definitely want to stay abreast of that. And that kind of leads into my second pitfall, is just communication. I think that some people look at affiliate as just a set it and forget it type of thing. It's just going to keep on going. No, definitely not. You definitely have to keep the lines of communication going. Again, with the partners that you're working with, and also with the network that you're working with as well. I remember very early on my career when I was working for, I think I was working for Sam's Club, managing that affiliate program, and it was, to date myself here, the Google Affiliate Network was the platform that we were on, taking it back.
Wow.
And
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, right. So the point of the story is, I think when we were with them, within a year, I want to say we may have had 4 or 5 different account managers just managing our account. And,
Yeah.
again, just a constant communication and letting them know exactly what's going on, what your KPIs are, what you're trying to achieve, who your target audience is, and things of that nature. Communication is very, very, very important. And I know we all get into funk. Sometimes you may not have any updates when you have these weekly or
Hmm.
biweekly meetings, but it's still good to have those calls. And just, if you don't have anything, just ask whoever you're speaking with, hey, what's new? Is there anything that I should know? And I'm talking again from a merchant to a network, or a merchant
Yeah.
to a publisher, or vice versa. What do you know that I don't know? Fill me in on things, because again, things move so quickly here. So yeah, definitely communication and knowing your partner.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I think like empathizing with their situation, understanding what they're doing, getting the download of all of the, as you said, those KPIs can change rather quickly. So getting ahead of that, giving the client or the merchant an opportunity to get ahead of it, an opportunity
Yeah,
to communicate with you those updates. Sometimes there's things that are being unsaid, which is totally understandable in any communication working arrangement. So enabling that and working through that is super positive, and I think you're spot on. Like, you know we're oftentimes only as good as our inputs, right? So if you can
Absolutely.
get those right inputs, going to get a lot better output.
Definitely.
Um, yeah, that's so fascinating. Like knowing the partners, it kind of reminds me of that biggest pitfall. I think it's an easy one for people to fall into. I think sometimes because when people treat it maybe more like a Google or a Meta, there's a little less. They don't they get granular in a different way, and I think that in affiliate marketing, the partners and the publishers and the content sites and the various affiliates are really a huge part of the ecosystem, and they
Oh,
kind of
absolutely.
drive the ecosystem. So knowing their referring URLs and various promotional methods, I think you hit that really well, and I think that's a big call out. Big call out. If you look at Truist's program, and obviously, we're not going to look under the hood and talk in detail and share all your secrets, but you know, I'm curious about partner types and maybe broadly for fintech, less maybe for Truist.
Okay.
When you think about partner types, what are some that you kind of look to? Obviously, you named a few earlier.
Yeah.
How do you kind of think about segmenting them? What are maybe some that are like maybe some of the unsung heroes of the partner types that you've seen in terms of fintech since you've had such great experience there?
Oh man. Some of the unsung heroes, I would say, actually I'm leaning a lot more towards I don't want to say influencer per se because it's such a broad term, but I want to say like educational vloggers, right? And
Mm,
people that not only talk about a product, but you can tell that they're authentic in it, like they're actual users of the product. They believe in it. I'll go to SoFi. They do a really good job with your rich BFF. I mean, she's just a wealth of knowledge, and she gives it to you in a way that you know that she's not just doing it for the revenue that she may get from it. It's actually you can actually see the improvements in her life from using the products. So I think
that's
that
awesome.
yeah, and again, I don't want to use the term influencer. I'll just use educators, if you will. But
Yeah,
I also
yeah.
don't want to get on the the Grant Cardones of the world. I don't feel, and I hate to say this, I don't feel a lot of authenticity from that guy. He's just a 10x billionaire. But on the flip side of that, like I said, I can really gravitate towards a your rich BFF or
Yep.
anybody that is authentic. I think that's the phrase that pays there.
I
Authentic,
love that, Lawrence. Yeah,
influencing educators.
yeah, yeah. No, I love that. And we've seen that play out for some really good examples. And I think honestly, in the last few years, that's just come up for us such a big way. Authenticity and trust is kind of it's words that people throw around a lot, but like the fact that
Yes.
you're bringing it up, the fact that we see it come up a lot in terms of how we evaluate and matchmake partners is really really clutch, and I think it is something that can sometimes lack. Like it's easy to go out and find either high priced or not authentic,
Hmm.
or maybe they're authentic for a different audience or a different way, and
Yeah.
I think that that's an important call out.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And one of the some of the people that I look to, not necessarily within the fintech space, but I find again influencers that kind of match my lifestyle. Right. I love to travel. So I watch people like Passport Heavy. He's really good on travel. He goes all the places that I want to go to. I will listen to podcasts like Bigger Pockets because I'm a real estate investor. And again, these are people that I think speak authentically to their experiences and help you avoid the mistakes that they may have made. So it's not a matter of reinventing the wheel. Again, it's more educational than anything. And again, you could see yourself within them, or you could see yourself. in an aspirational type of way of wanting to be where they are. So those are some of the ones that I gravitate towards just in my daily life.
I love that. I
Yeah,
love
man.
that. And it's good to hear it kind of, yeah, it brings to life kind of that example of matchmaking for you of like, hey, these people have some authority, these people have some credibility,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's what you're striving for in the case of, your rich BFF and others like them. It's a great example. Were there experiments or learnings that really kind of bubble up for you as you recall back on your career of in affiliate marketing? Is there any that can maybe come to mind that are worthy of chatting? Obviously, in the spirit of the namesake of the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a pandemic story. I was working for an agency at the time, and one of my clients was I don't want to say names, but they were an auto parts store. And if you remember during the pandemic, right, a couple of things happened. Number one, we're all locked in, no one can get anywhere. Number two, there's a supply issue. So if you wanted to buy a new car, you probably couldn't. And then number three, I think that was the onset of buy online, pick up at the curb. So I did a test with said auto parts store. And it was one of those things where, okay, we're going to test an online to offline test essentially. So people could purchase whatever product they wanted to do online. And again, we're talking about auto parts here. People were, I think, doing more of the repairs and fixes of their own cars. YouTube is a hell of a tool. And they were,
Yes.
just finding out how to fix things on their own. So they figure out the parts or whatever, and then order it online. Anyhow, long story short, I developed a test with the client at the time, and I said, "Hey, I want to test this QR code, and whenever people do an order online, they'll actually have to print up their order sheet. The people at the store, they'll essentially hand it to them. They'll pick the parts." They will scan that code, and that's how we attribute it back to the affiliate channel. And that worked like gangbusters. I want to say that, oh man, my budget might have been 60, 70,000 a month, but I think on average we were doing between 150 to $250,000 per month, just straight from affiliates. So, the
That's
first month
awesome.
I was like, hey, I spoke to my boss at the agency. I was like, hey, this is going to ruffle some feathers here because we're going to blow our budget out. He was like, no, don't worry about it. It's coming to the agency, so we're going to be okay. So he found money from other channels and siphoned it into affiliate. And I tell you, when I say we just killed it during that entire, I want to say it was a year. We
Love
just
that.
kept rolling it over and over and over again. And I will say now, this partner that I worked with, I didn't realize it at the time, but they were trading. I mean, their stock price might have been upwards of 300, 400. No, I think it was upwards of the high hundreds to low thousands. And I didn't realize it at the time. But man, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have bought some of that stock during the pandemic because just skyrocketed.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, that was
investment
good.
advice, but
Yes.
I mean, that's one of my favorite ones we've had on the pod. And just to be in the details, did folks actually print out and bring into store?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So,
Huh.
I think that where it took off really was like on a Slick Deals and a Deal News, where Slick Deals, is user reviews. So everyone, we did it.
Yep.
They put their information in there. Make sure you print it out and take it to the store. Blah blah blah, and that
Yeah.
worked beautifully. Deal News, they just kept repeating the offer over and over again because it just worked so well. So yeah, shout out to those
Awesome.
guys.
I love that. And I love the online to offline. We've had some really kind of interesting experiences there, and we've worked with some clients on it. But that's one of my favorite examples I've heard in a while, and appreciate you sharing that.
Absolutely.
Are there some macro trends that you are starting to see kind of happening in the affiliate space and the partner marketing space that are worthy to share, and you kind of want to have bring up and have people keep an eye on?
Um, I don't really know if this is a macro trend but I will say this, Ty. I want to say that again, just going back to the social influencers, I think that people are discovering that, literally you can affiliate market anything, right? You go on I remember the early
Yeah.
days when Pinterest didn't have affiliate links or anything like that. And before the TikToks and the social medias of the world, you would see a product online and then be like, oh man, I wish I knew where that was. But now I think the fact that you can literally just tag an affiliate link into anything, and I'm seeing it everywhere, especially, as I go through TikTok and YouTube and all these other social channels, Instagram as well, Threads.
Yeah.
It's just instant. If I see like a guy showing off his house and he has a fancy lamp, I could just hit that and it'll just bring it up and I'll click it and he'll make some money from it. But now I've got this lamp that I love and it's going to fit right in my corner there. So again, I don't know if I answered your question, but I think that that's one thing that captivates me. I can't tell you how many times
Yeah.
during the day my wife will send me some nonsense she saw, and then she'll
Yep.
be like, "We have to have it," and then next thing I know, we've got 30 Amazon boxes at the doorstep when I get home. So yeah,
Yeah. I don't think you're alone there. And I think you're right though. I think, you know, we enjoy kind of looking out ahead and occasionally trying to see what's coming, and sometimes we get some things right, sometimes we get some things wrong, but what I'm hearing is like the social shopping piece is
absolutely,
finally it's finally becoming more real. TikTok shops, Instagram Reels is obviously huge. There's a lot there, and
yeah,
you nailed it. It's becoming a noticeable, more frictionless user experience where it wasn't 5 years ago. It was
yeah.
talked about a lot 5 years ago, but now it's actually kind of happening. So
Listen, anyone can be an affiliate marketer nowadays, especially with all the tools that are out there and everything. It doesn't take much. And again, for the
yeah,
people that do it right, you could totally live the best digital nomad life of your dreams if you do it right. And I think that there's an opportunity for everyone.
yeah,
And one thing, not to go on a tangent, one thing that I love about affiliate marketing, I went to school for 4 years, well, actually 3.5, graduated early, but I went to school for healthcare marketing and I knew absolutely nothing about affiliate marketing. I just happened to stumble upon it. And I think that we hear these stories from people day after day of how they discovered affiliate marketing and how much it's changed their life. It's,
yeah,
it's literally a game changer. And
yeah,
it's something that's here for everyone. You don't have to have the best education in the world, but you can definitely make a ton of money if you do it right.
yeah. No, I love it. It kind of rewards action and creativity, and
Yeah,
you're for promoting a business and adding value. There's value to be had, and so
absolutely.
it's the ultimate test. And I've talked about this a lot with folks as well, as to how there's a lot of reasons why we enjoy it and like what we do, but you know nothing to take away from Meta, nothing to take away from Google. They're not going anywhere, and yes,
Yeah,
they're also a part of the ecosystem, but to be able to pay out individuals or small businesses or mom and pops or people who have passion and interest and educate, it's like that's super exciting. Talk about kind of democratizing performance marketing. It's a really cool.
yeah,
I like where you're going with that.
agreed, 100%.
Amazing. Um, Shall we get in some quick fire round conversations? A little,
Let's
little
do it.
coming down the home
Let's
stretch.
let's do it.
I love it. Yeah, you got any good book recommendations?
Uh yes, actually. Let me tell you. So a family member, I married into the family actually. Irving Weathersby. He wrote a book. It's called In Open Contempt. I think he was on ABC News not too long ago, but essentially what the book is about is it's nonfiction. It's about confronting white supremacy in art and public
Oh wow,
spaces. So I think he started
wow,
writing this book like way before COVID and everything, right? But what's interesting is during the course of him writing the book, this is when a lot of monuments started getting taken down and things like that. And listen, I'm not going to get into politics or anything like that at all. But the premise of the book is the all these Confederate statues and things that were taken down during the time. Now, mind you, he's from New Orleans, so he grew up in that environment. But
Yeah.
I think the premise of the book is that he's got a tagline. It's that losers don't get trophies. Essentially, that's what it was, and it was
Hmm.
just an interesting take on it. So that's one book that I'm reading, and if you know
That's awesome.
if you're into it, I definitely say pick it up. And then I've actually
I love
gotten
history and stuff.
into dude, I should have been a history major to be honest with you. So
There you
that's
go.
one. And then another book that I just read is called Earthseed, and it's I can't remember the author of the book, and it killed me. But essentially, the book is about.
Right.
It actually starts off in 2024, 2025. It's an African American woman. She is the writer of the book. She also wrote Kindred, Dawn. Oh, and her name escapes you right now. It'll come to me, and I hope you could
Awesome.
put this in afterwards. But essentially,
Yeah.
that book,
Yeah. I'll put in the notes.
Earthseed, it's about the fall of humanity. Essentially, it's taken from
Oh, wow.
aspect in LA where the rich people, they're living very well. They're living off the fat, but everyone else,
Yeah.
98% of the other population, they're just doing bad. They're living in slums. They live in gated communities,
Wow.
but they're trying to stop other people from coming into the community. And I think that um, one of the things that drives people to the community, again, these are people that are homeless, but there's a drug. It's called pyro, and this drug, just it's like crack 3.0 essentially, and it
Oh,
people light things on fire and it just stimulates all their nerves and it gives them a high to the next content. So they're the people, the main characters in the story, they're running from these savages that are setting everything on fire and pillaging and things
wow.
like this. And yeah, it's just an interesting book, man. I gave a terrible summation of it, but that's what it is.
It
um,
sounds like it's going to be a movie on Netflix soon.
Oh,
So
I wish
I
it was. One of her other books, Kindred, that one is a movie. I think it's on Amazon, and I'm so
damn.
mad that. Hold on, let me see here. Now I've got to look it up while I still have you. Let me bring it up here, and I can't believe I'm forgetting her name because it's such a good book. Oh, what is it?
Octavia Butler.
That's it. Yes, Octavia Butler.
All
Octavia
right. All
Butler.
right.
Yes, thank you.
Got it. No worries. No, I love it. Great
Great book.
recommendations. That's
Oh, it's
super
so good.
interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Um, how about trip? You've traveled a bit. You got some cool travel coming up. Do you have like a top one or three that you kind of want to share with the group?
Yeah, my top places that I could go over and over and over again. I love Cape Town, South Africa. I love
Oh
it
yeah,
there. I mean, it's the most westernized part of Africa. If you could
yeah.
mash up, let's say Honolulu, LA, and Miami, and put them all together in one, that's Cape Town. That's Cape Town. It's
Wow,
awesome. The best
that's
thing
quite a
about Cape,
sale.
dude.
That's never heard that before. That's
The
amazing.
best thing about Cape Town is it's in the southern hemisphere. So, when it's winter here, that's when you go down there. I spent a couple of New Year's Eves and Christmases down there, and it's amazing.
Oh,
People are beautiful, they're friendly. The US dollar is really strong. So, that's one. Another one is Marrakesh, Morocco. Absolutely love it.
wow.
Absolutely love Marrakesh. I love it.
Oh,
Those are my
oh,
top two. Now, coincidentally, though, I'm going on vacation this week, as I was telling you. I'm going to Istanbul, which I've been several times before. I love it, the food, the culture, the people. And
oh.
then I'm also going to Dubai and Qatar as well, all in one trip. So
That's
it's going to be
right.
like 2 or 3 days in each place. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Living the dream, Lawrence. Living the
That's right.
dream. I have not been to either of those places. I have heard, honestly, that just totally validates some of the things I've heard about those three.
Yeah, awesome
Killer.
places.
Pretty cool spots. Um, that's amazing, man. This is anything. I don't know, man. That's like really interesting stuff, and just love hearing your adventures and some great learnings you've had. Is there anything you want to share, like drop on the audience that maybe that maybe they don't know about you, that maybe some people don't know about Lawrence.
Yeah. This is going to be hard to believe, but I am the quintessential uh, introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert. One of the two. I'm extremely shy, to be honest with you. But once I'm extremely shy, but I can strike a conversation with anyone. I don't know what it is about me, but I think that once we start talking and we find commonalities, I
Yeah,
find it's just one of
yeah,
those things where you've got a friend for life essentially. And I think that is actually what gravitates me and why I've been in affiliate marketing so long. Again, I've
yeah.
known you about, I don't know, 17, 18 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, you. I still have a
Yeah,
lot of the same people that I first met when I first got in the industry. I could call
yeah,
them up today and be like, "Hey, what's up? I'm in your town. Let's have a
yeah,
drink." And 9 times out of 10,
yeah.
it's going to happen. You know, so that's
I
what I love
know.
about it, and that's something about me that a lot of people don't know.
That's amazing. That's a phenomenal wrap up. It's a phenomenal thing to end on, and like I couldn't agree more. I think that's just another great aspect of our space. There's just
Yeah.
a lot of good human characters, and I would certainly categorize myself, yeah, maybe similar flavor of that introvert extrovert combo. So I totally get it, and it's amazing, man.
I love it.
Um, this has been awesome. It's been a pleasure. So glad we chatted and got to do the pod. And where can folks find you that want to learn more and connect with you?
Oh, well, I'm definitely on LinkedIn and Lawrence Sarpong, obviously. You can find me on Instagram. I usually document my trips on there. My IG handle is Globe Trippin. That's GLOBETRIPPN. So that's that.
Amazing. I cannot wait to hear about your next journey in Istanbul and Dubai and Qatar, and lots more to
Yeah.
talk about when you get back.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Ty. This has been a pleasure. Look forward to the next time, my friend. I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Bye.